Ugh. That don't happen. Stephen Bryan, Bill Witt, and Anthony Brown, 858, 59, 59. So redfish, bluefish didn't hit one this morning. Didn't hit first. And who was he fighting with? That was funny. Patrick Polson made it. Good man. Oh, Lord. Well, catastrophe this morning. I had somebody new changing the filter bags in the tanks yesterday. And the big cichlid tank, the water level got down low and did not get refilled. And so the pump box floated and quit pumping water into the tank. And because I do not have air stones in there, they've gotten knocked out and disconnected. About half of the fish died. So we had a little madness. Fish Wizard, the 500. Oh, right. Good reference. We are indeed. We fight to the last man. The last man standing. Good morning, Manish. You made it. Happy to see you. Bill Witt is bummering. Patrick Polson, what an honor to be called my lord from Father Fish himself. Oh. Hello, Manish. Chubbs. Good morning, Chubbs. How are you? Ah. Phew. I've got a fan blowing in my direction, but I think it's about 12 inches above my head. I can't quite feel it. Sort of a slight breath, like someone breathing on you. Oh, glory. Anyway, I feel like oh yeah, I need to pack out today. I've got all these orders that need to be gone through and organized and packed out. I don't know how much dirt I've got, but a few fish. So that's got to be done this morning. Lisa Perez, good morning. Hope all is well with you, Lisa. Ugh. Hey, trying to gather my wits from hither and yon. They're sort of scattered abroad. I got this thing, I guess you knew. I said something yesterday. One more week, and it itches. It has not itched before this. Now it's itching. I think it's because they put steri strips on it, and they're causing it to itch. So I'm irritated. Stephen Bryant. Hello, Stephen. Sitting inside a 450-gallon, working on it, having Father Fish echo and bounce off the glass. Great way to listen. Ah, like a fish in a tank, listening to Father Fish. That's funny. Oh, Lord. So tomorrow is, ah, tomorrow is, tomorrow is collecting day. And we're going to be close to home because we're doing a lobster fest. There's a local restaurant that has lobster on special this Wednesday. 1 pound lobsters for $15. So we're gonna do that, and I may get two, just because I like lobster. Patrick, Father Fish, did you and RO make a date yet? You guys were talking about that in an older stream. It'll be this fall before she's able to get down here. It's got a lot of loose ends to tie up this summer. But we're going to try to get together this fall and see if we can put something together that will allow Ro to come in here and work in Father Fish. I'm at a point where I've got more to do than I have time to do. A lot of things need to be done online, including putting a website together, Patreon stuff, YouTube stuff, all kinds of things. And I don't have time to do it. Nor do I have the inclination sitting in this 95-degree room. It makes it difficult at best. Now I'm hoping, good morning, Vanaksky. Nice to see you. I'm hoping my landlord comes in today and puts the glass sliders in the on the counter. That'll keep the cold air locked in here, and it should drop the temperature in this little area enough to make it bearable. So that's the plan. If that can happen, that'll help a lot. Oh, well, I had the clock man come in yesterday, looked at the clock. Yeah, I've got a little tiny air conditioner in the wall just for this room, but with it open at the counter, it doesn't do much. So we're going to put glass sliders there. But you're right, I need air conditioning in the entire store, and that's going to run upwards of 10 grand. My landlord has agreed to go half on it. So I'm just trying to figure out how in the world to put the other half together. I'm looking for an air conditioner. Somebody who owns an air conditioning company wants a big fish tank. I got just the thing for for my half. Gnarly and GT Aquatics. Gnarly Tanks is GT Aquatics. Good morning. How are you? Rohan J. Hello, hello, Rohan. Nice to see you. I'm going to jump over to YouTube here from StreamYard. See if I can get online. Find the icon. There we go. Paddlefish in the morning. Live now. Must be us. Here we are. Rohan, I have a little portable AC unit. The trouble with the portable units is they blow hot air out the back. So I have to have a way to vent it. And that kind of becomes counterproductive because I don't have a way to get it through the wall without knocking a hole in the wall. I did that when I bought this little small unit. Who was that from? Australia, Rachel. Rachel Vernon. Hi, Rachel. Nice to see you. Yeah, I've got one in here. I hope we can show it. It's kind of messy. Let me get over here. Right there in the wall. We haven't got the paneling up yet to make it pretty, but it is working. I just have a gaping hole in on the other end of the room where the service counter is. So once we get that resolved, then we'll be better in here. That'll help in this room. Then I need to figure out what to do about the rest of the shop. And it's going to be a long, hot summer. So while it's still fairly early in the summer, hot lasts here well into October. So September doesn't give us a break. October begins to. Gnarly, I'm good. Thank you, Father Fish. Glad to catch your stream this morning. Good to have you, Gnarly. Facebook yard sale people offer services. Yeah, I need to get serious about this. Try to find something. I've been trying to save some money to be able to do it. And I'm just about where I need to be, which reminds me I need to get my rent check in the mail today. It's running a little late. We'll do that. And pack out this morning. So I'm going to be out in the heat for a while, probably all morning, packing out stuff. I got a pair of Rams to go. I don't remember what else. I lost my big parrot overnight. That was a loss. Fortunately, I only lost one. I had 7, but the others all sold. So just down to one and lost him. Anywho. So we have a new little girl, just started working for us yesterday, and she was pretty good. She's 18, not little, not like the 14-year-old who comes in once in a while. Lisa says it could be contributing to your health. Well, I dare say. Anyway, she swept the floor and cleaned the tanks and learned how to do bags and fixed some light bulbs that were not working. So she seems to have a good work ethic. Cute little girl, hard worker. We'll see how that works out. Her mother is a friend of a friend. I've never advertised for help. Never really wanted to. I've always tried to work with people who show up and ask for help. And generally, it's people I know or people whose parents I know. It doesn't work out any better, mind you. Betsy, what?
Can I show you another one that's leaking?
Another what?
A tank.
Sure.
It's not leaking, but
Okay, be right back, guys. We're going to look at a leaking tank here.
we can do it later.
Okay. All righty. We're back. That was easy. Not a comment. Whew. I had a valve open, overfilling a tank that didn't have much room for excess water. Uh, we're kind of dry this morning, aren't we? Time is it? Quarter after. Getting a slow start on the day. No comment for 3 or 4 minutes. Oh, there we are. William, hello from Canada. Nice to see you, William. Oh, dear. Let's see what's going on. Fishwives. Trying to help out a situation involving some wholesalers and online suppliers who are in a squabble with each other over copyright issues. Um, the problem is everybody's being hard nosed. So somebody's going to wind up getting hurt, I'm afraid. It's just it's sad to see that people are not willing to work out their differences and resolve their issues amicably. It winds up being a litigious issue and people get hurt. And that's where this has gone. I spent an hour on the phone yesterday with both parties, and they're both dead set against resolving matters easily and equitably. They both want their pound of flesh. And unfortunately, they're going to draw blood. And who knows which way it'll go. It's really sad. It's over using copyright graphic material, which is covered and protected. And there's no real good reason to do it. It is easy to kind of slip up and use something that you shouldn't use. When it becomes a matter of course, a matter of routine, then that's another issue. And I'm afraid that's what's happened here. So it's gonna be worked out, easy or hard. It's gonna be worked out. Gnarly Sam, what's my favorite fish? Somebody asked me this yesterday. I'm scratching my leg. I'm sorry. Doesn't look good, does it? Abba Abba, Gymnorchus melodicus. I don't know how to do a graphic. Somebody explain to me how to do that. Share screen. Oh, here we go. Application window. Chrome tab. Aha! I think I figured it out. Let me catalog get kills. I have a. Let's see. It's interesting. I'm trying to come up on it, and they're all privacy issues. Watch on YouTube. Oh, here we go. All right. There it is. Well, that's interesting. All right. That's the filtration system. Here's the fish. Somewhere in here. What are we doing? This is supposed to be a picture of a fish. And what we're getting is a filter. There he is. Gymnorchus melodicus. So you get a decent shot of it here. There we go. Look at that. That's my fish. They get about 4 foot long. They're not captive bred. They're wild caught. They do catch them as babies and bring them in. They're very aggressive, hard to keep together. You really can't keep them together. They kill each other. I got 5 of them about a year ago, and they were all about this size, about a foot long. and they were too big. They could not handle captivity, and one by one they passed on. But that's the guy. Jim, look at that. Isn't that extraordinary? He's eating. They have a lateral line. They're blind, and they use the lateral line to see what's around them. They can swim backwards as fast as they can forward. Um, they're not coming in at all right now. They're from North Africa. They're a Nile River and tributaries fish, so they're just not available right now at all. Cool fish. One of my favorites. My all-time favorite. Look at this guy. Gorgeous. Who is this? Aslame? Let me see. Probably not going to be able to scroll down on it. Let me do that. This is Aldemay, who has only 816 subscribers. Let's see if we can get her back up. Right there. This was 2016, so it's an old video. That's quite a filtration system. Alda, thank you, Alda, from 4 years ago. Similar to a clown knife, it's different shape, of course. It's in a classification by itself. It really is not close to any other fish. It's an air breather, has a primitive lung. It's an old world fish. Is there a fish I have not kept but always wanted to? Well, there's one I've been trying to get for years. I have had them, but it was many years ago, and they're not theoretically that hard to come by, but I simply haven't been able to nail one down. Is the paddlefish. Now, the paddlefish is the southern part of the Mississippi River range. It's a common fish, a fish that has a season on it. It's a filter feeder. If you know what a basking shark looks like, it looks just like a basking shark, but it's smaller. Paddlefish freshwater. See if I can get this one up. There's one swimming. No, it's not one swimming. I'm trying to get a picture of one swimming here. Well, we can show this one. StreamYard. This is what it looks like. It's also found in the Yangtze River. Apparently the same fish. I don't know if it's actually the same species, but the morphology is the same. That is to say they look alike. Let's see if I can get a picture of a live one. Here's one with his mouth open. That's pretty cool. Here's a school of them, obviously in somebody's tank. I've had them many years ago. I'd love to get them again. They need pretty big open water because they have to be on the move. Here's somebody holding two nostrums. And that's about the size of of the one I had. Were very, very neat little fish. There's some babies. It does produce caviar, but they kill them for their caviar. Obviously, it's a fish that gets way too big for an aquarium, but when they're small, they're just really fascinating and not all that difficult to keep. There's There he is. Look at that. And you can see it looks a bit like a basking shark with this big nostrum, rostrum, I guess. Here's it's a bone. There's the bone. As a filter feeder, you don't catch them on a hook and line. They're snagged in season. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Amazing fish. Lurking freshwater monsters. And they do not much like the swordfish, which uses its sword to stun fish or smack them. The paddlefish doesn't do that. It's a sensory organ that's used to find food, but not to slash and burn, not to be on the offense about it. It's there's a curious look at that. Babies. Little babies. Or these are they're artificial lures. That's interesting. Lures that look like baby paddlefish. Spoonbill catfish, they're calling it here. So that's my current want. My wish list fish. Chubbs is back. Abba Night. Chinese paddlefish is supposedly extinct. Yeah, it may well be. When they put the dam in, they pretty well destroyed the ecology of the river. Chinese one grows to 10 foot. These got about 4 foot in the wild, and they're caught in season in the Mississippi. They have them in the river by Gnarly. See if you can find me some babies. I'll be happy to handle the shipping. They are awesome fish to keep. If you've had them, Stephen. I had some in a vat that I made. It was about I guess a 400 or 500 gallon vat. They really did quite well. I tried to sell them, ship them to somebody, and didn't pack them well enough to allow them to move around, and they didn't survive. Yeah, that's a great wish list fish, isn't it? Love to be able to get some. Fish and tactics. Have a blessed day to you too. Are you coming or going? Or both? Rohan J. What's the paddle for? It's a sensory. It has sensory organs. It's used to detect microscopic food, presumably, since that's what they eat. Although I found I could feed mine pellets. They like pellets or other little tiny stuff. They can't chase. They simply open their mouth and scoop stuff up like a basking shark does. Um, they're not like a whale that captures a great body of water and squeezes it out. Jobs, if I come across some, I'll let you know. Please, that would be fun. See someone snag a spoonbill every now and again below the spillway. Yeah, I'd love to get some little ones. We've had them here in the research center a few years back, Stephen says. They're not all that difficult to keep. You just need a large enough area for them to move around in. Rohan, why would you add sand to a deep substrate over the years? Well, because the rich deposits, if you will, in the substrate build up over time and will come up close to the surface. So unless you add sand, the sand will get overwhelmed in time. Now that's a slow process, which means that the deep substrate does not really create a permanent tank. It creates a long-term tank. It'll last 20 to 30 years, but by year 40, it's getting so full of sand that there's not much room left for fish and plants. Field ponds are that way. Not spring fed, but ponds that are rain filled ponds. The vegetation as it dies down will build up, and eventually it'll become a marsh and then a field. So the life of a pond, like a field pond or a rain pool, is to eventually fill and become fertile ground for terrestrial plants. Okay, we did that. Paul C. Hi, Paul C. Nice to see you. What are we doing? 9:30. Oh, boy, I've got. Need to clear the tubes here today. I think coffee does a better job. I did not make a pot this morning. Trying to control it, trying to get some weight off too. Lord, I'm desperate to get weight off. And I had some cookies last night. Bad mistake. So my blood sugar, of course, was elevated this morning. And the older I get, the less responsible I get, I think. Eating cookies. Well, hi there. How are you guys? Our new employee is here. Well, good.
Thursday, she's working as well, right?
Thursday, what?
Thursday, she works also, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try to do this 4 days a week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So what days do you need her? Monday, Tuesday,
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday, and Friday.
Okay.
Working out.
All right.
But you need to stay busy.
Oh, she's doing good.
Okay. She does smoke cigarettes, so if you can give her like a 10-minute break.
Just whenever you need to do that, just step outside.
She was embarrassed to ask you, and I said, just talk to her.
No, it's okay.
You know, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, you can take a break. I'm not opposed to break. Just smoke outside, like out back or out front or whatever. Right. All right.
All right. I love you.
Okay, take care.
Her mom's going to pick her up at
That's fine.
So I think she works from like 9:30 to 3. Will that be a good?
That's fine.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
All right. This is Tana. Come say hello, Tana. You meet. Come meet. Come in here and say hello. We got about 25 people we're looking at. This is sneak down in here where the camera goes. There you are. There's Tana. And she just started with this yesterday. So we need to get her busy doing something. I think Betsy is still here. Ask her to show you what she's doing. She can help her a little bit. I'll be out in about 20 minutes or so. Tana, it's a Florida girl. Hello, Peter and Roxanne. Nice to see you. Marky, another sticky hot day. Yeah, I got that right. Stephen, me and the team will be making our trip to Florida here soon to the research center there. I may sneak off and visit the best fish store in the state, I hear, Father Fish. So what research center, Stephen? Where will you be going? Is that the lab in Ruskin? But that was pretty slick getting that screen up, wasn't it? That was easy. Didn't realize. Oh, that's cute. Look at this. That's pretty neat. This is a live bait well built into a catamaran. Isn't that slick as a whistle? Oh, probably kill everything if you're moving it any kind of speed, but it is clever, isn't it? Frederick Fernandez, question. Father Fish, do some plants release more oxygen than others? If yes, what are these plants? Can you name some? Ah, goodness sakes. Well, Frederick, my sense about that is that inch for inch, one plant does not release more oxygen than another. Now, having said that, I dare say that there are some plants that are morphologically more capable of exchanging air than others. But having said what I did initially, the plants that grow the quickest and have the largest surface space are going to be the ones that release more oxygen. Probably the most effective one is anacris, about the most common plant. It grows very quickly. If you add up all the little leaves, it has a lot of surface space. And it works in the water or heavily, it'll fill a tank. That's what Lee Atwell ran it. That's what Lee's Aquatics ran into when he found that he had a plant that he felt needed to be trimmed out. That was an anacris, which grows nearly everywhere. He collected, I believe, wild in England. It grows all over the world. You can find it anywhere, and it's a great plant. A great. Let's see if we can get a picture of it. Anacris. Yeah, there we go. Anacris. It'll fill a tank. It grows really, really well. Let's see, get up here. Like that. Isn't that pretty? It's a pretty plant too, and just one that really does provide a lot of oxygen, a lot of uh, aeration in the tank. Hornwort, yes, hornwort's terrific. And again, super prolific. Any of the really prolific plants are going to be best. Why not? Why not in Wyoming? I need to take a break. I'll be back in a moment. Ugh, the scourge of diuretics. Go to the one in Port Charlotte and the aquaculture. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, you'll be close. You'll be back and forth between the two. When you're in Port Charlotte, you won't be. You're down on the Peace River. We've got a number of friends who work there, retired guys who used to work there, who were active in our club. Chuck Eidelberg was a biologist there. Bill Whittle, and then all the folks up at the lab in Ruskin. Really nice people. That'll be a great trip. Hydrilla verticula. Let's take a look. Hydrilla is a little different. Hydrilla, it's not as thick a leaf plant. Are you seeing this? No. It's certainly a kissing cousin, but it's not the same plant. Betsy, Betsy, ask her to clean this corner right here. No, on the other, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
And then the bulbs that are back there in the box, the lights, have her bring them up and put them in the corner up
Okay.
here. Just
Okay.
keep her a little busy. I'll be out of here in a few minutes.
Perfect.
Thank you. Similarly looking, yes. Water wisteria, and water sprite. Great, great plants. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we get a picture of them. I have water wisteria. And I've got all these in my shop routinely. There's wisteria. Really, really pretty plant. And water sprite. Let's look at the water sprite. Similar looking plant. Grows a little differently. And of course, these plants grow differently emergent. Let's see if we can find one that's growing emergent. They get a much broader leaf. I'm not seeing a picture of one. Oh, this is interesting. Look at that. A water sprite, if you will. Very pretty plant. It was one of the first plants I had as a child in my tanks. There's one browning out. Just looking for some with a broad leaf. Not finding a picture, but the water sprite develops. No, not showing it. Develops a broad leaf. That's a little bit of one. There's the water sprite. Not finding what I'm looking for. This is typically how it grows in a tank. It'll float with roots coming down. I've got some. There's one right there. That's water sprite. You see each of these little tiny leaves are a new plant. Ceratopterus cornuta. Oh, this is a different type, which is Thalictroides. So there are a couple of different species. Also called live antler fern. Never heard that name. I like it. What is that? It's a concept fish. Oh, it's a merman or a mermaid or a something. Another one. There's Gollum. And a Barbie water sprite. Look at that. Let's see what else we got. What kind of fish is this? Looks like what's that called? Can't think. What is that called? What's that fish called? Somebody give it to me. I can't think of it. That's fairly big. Actually, it gets enormous. It gets like 5 to 6 foot. They're Asian. What is that called? Brain's gone. All right. Enough of all that foolishness. Frederick Fernandez. Fatherfish, any solution for diatoms on plant leaves? What are the reasons? And are diatoms the brown algae? Are diatoms the brown algae? I want to say yes, which means they're not an algae at all.
How you doing, Grandpa?
How are you?
Okay.
Good to see you. What's doing? What's going on? What are you looking for?
A couple of those neon fishes.
I don't have any. I'll be getting some in the end of the week. I'm getting some in on Friday. I don't think I have any neons at all. No, they keep selling out.
The only one that kept living by me.
Really? Well, you're a wonder. That's usually the one people kill.
Two blue and white are very good.
Wonderful.
This other fish wouldn't live 8 hours.
Well, that's amazing. You kept the prettiest. Well, look around. Maybe you see something else. I do have a few other fish in there.
Really, I wanted a couple of those neon.
Yeah, I'll be getting some in later in the week. I think Friday I've got some coming.
Okay, I'll stop
Yeah.
by.
Okay.
I'll be playing golf Friday.
Yeah, well, maybe Saturday over the weekend. I don't know what time they'll get here. Probably be late in the day. So Saturday or Sunday would be better. All right. Iridescent shark. Thank you. Thank you, Wyoming. Iridescent shark. Right. And they get utterly enormous. The solution for diatoms on plants. Well, you can manually wipe them off. You need to control the conditions that are causing it. I mean, that's the solution for anything you don't want is control what makes it grow and thrive. And it's probably more than anything excess nutrition. So stop feeding your fish and let them eat from your plant, from your tank. Eat off of plants and so forth. That's ultimately the solution to virtually every problem is to stop putting food in the tank. Food inevitably increases the bio load, which puts pressure on the balance of the system. A hungry fish is a healthy fish. But my fish are hungry. Well, it's because they're healthy and happy. Feed them and they won't be. Stop feeding your fish. Stop feeding your fish. That's the law. Father Fish's law. Stop feeding your fish. Now, clearly, if you've got big guys, they need to be fed, preferably once a month. You can do it once a week. Rarely do you need to feed more frequently than once a week. Babies, certainly, but not adult fish. Adult large fish in the wild do not eat every day unless they're extremely fortunate to be living in an environment that is full of little fish to eat. How long have I been in business? Stephen asked. About 20 years, 25 years. I guess 25 years. I've kind of been my own person all my life, though. I've never really worked for anyone. I've always had my own shop, my own business, my own work. I was a missionary for many years, following my father's work until I retired. Sad story there, but someday maybe. That's a Patreon story. Um, but even then, I was working very independently, very much on my own. I think one time I had a job working in a bindery, and it lasted about one day. I didn't like it at all, so I quit. I didn't have a sense of how to mold myself to someone else's interests and direction. I tried to and I couldn't figure out how to do that, and it was too frustrating. So I gave it up. So Steven says too much nutrients in the water. That's right. Exactly right. Look like Pangasius. What are we talking about? Pangasius. What is Pangasius? SIUS. Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, without the nostrum. Well, hi there. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. We still got fish. We don't have as many.
I think about you guys every time I make the bed coming out of the park. How are you?
Good. Everything is fine.
Wonderful. You still have some fish, angels, right?
Yeah, we got.
Bye, Betsy.
We got about. Well, we've only got 3 angels left.
3
And
left.
there's
Right.
there's 2 males and 1 female. And the female is harassing
The males.
the males. I think we need another female.
There we go. Buds, Coins, and Variety, new here from Catfish Terry Stream. Nice to see you. Buds, Frederick, Father Fish, Agrophylla deformis, Rotella bacopa, red and green kabamba, all growing well in my tank. Only Amazon sword melting every time. Can I don't know how to say this word, allelopathy be the reason? I don't think so. Well, that's a good guess. Allelopathy is a condition in which certain plants or animals will, in effect, poison other species in order to prevent them from taking advantage of available nutrients in space. The plants that are thriving generally are saltwater plants, or at least do well in salt water. The Amazon sword does not. Is it possible, kind of in a side, I'm thinking now, it's possible that the plants you have in there have changed the water chemistry such that the Amazon sword can't survive. Amazon sword likes hard alkaline water. Check your pH and check your TDS. Good chance that the thriving plants you have. So I'm going to reverse myself and say, yeah, it sounds like allelopathy, actually, because the plants you have probably changed the water chemistry sufficient to preclude normal growth for Amazon sword. Interesting. Stephen, just had another biologist walk in on me working on a tank and hearing my phone echo and said, in that Father Fish, is that Father Fish on YouTube? Ah, that's fun. Yes, that's Father Fish on YouTube. Ah, appreciate it, guys. So, Stephen, you want to chime in on this allelopathy thing? In fact, would you like to come here on a phone? You probably can't do it. I'd be happy to get you up here for a minute. We're going to be leaving here. Oh, we got to leave now. We're too late. Let's do this. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We'll be doing a live broadcast in the afternoon. I will be on in the morning. I'm just going to do this routinely because it is drawing a bit of a crowd. There are people that were interested, and it's fun. Buds, there isn't any good fish stores in my area. Do fish do pretty good being shipped through the mail? Yes, indeed. They certainly do, and I'm happy to ship you whatever you like. I am working on a website. Pretty soon I'll have a lot of fish listed on my website, and we'll be able to ship them. So won't be long. We'll be able to do that. So nice to have you all with us today. We've learned something, how to get graphics up. That's fun. And we'll see you in the morning. Tomorrow is collecting day, and we're going to have a lobster fest tomorrow night. So we'll probably plug in on that for a few minutes at least without stepping too hard on some other fish fans' feet. But God bless you all. And We'll see you in the morning. Bye for now.